Good morning, I'm Abheudaya Shrestha and these are the headlines of the hour. Parliament Hearing Committee endorses appointment of Harikrishna Karki as the next Chief Justice. Unanimously, Karki commits of improving the tarnishing image of the judiciary. 6 out of the 7 provinces presenting their budget for the upcoming fiscal year today. Koshi Province's effort to bring the budget through an ordinance rejected by the ruling alliance. Survivors from a fishing boat that sank off southern Greece in one of Europe's worst migrant disasters say up to 100 children may have been on board. 9 people arrested on suspicion of human trafficking. And Spain edges past Italy 2-1 to reach the UEFA Nations League final for the second consecutive time, as substitute Josello scores a late winner to clash against Croatia in the title decider. The Parliamentary Hearing Committee has endorsed the appointment of Harikrishna Karki as the next Chief Justice unanimously. Karki had concluded his remarks at the Parliamentary Hearing Committee this morning as lawmakers raised questions on the degrading trust on the judiciary and the failure of government in winning cases for the public, among others, to decide whether Karki should be appointed to the post of Chief Justice. Karki was questioned on the irregularities within the judiciary, inability to control the influence of middlemen, and on why underprivileged groups had been deprived of justice. Karki was also questioned on thousands of cases that have been pending in courts across the country. 12 lawmakers, including Janardhan Sharma, Mahesh Bartola, Ramesh Jung Rayamaji, Gyanendra Bahadur Karki, Dol Prasad Aryal and Ishwari Devi Neopane had also demanded Karki to present the basis for his plans once at the post. Karki had been in the post of acting Chief Justice for the past 9 months and has expressed commitments of ensuring judicial good governance and easing access to justice, among others. Karki will serve in the post of Chief Justice for less than 2 months as he is retiring on 5th of August based on age limit. Based on constitutional provision, the President issues the appointment of Chief Justices after the Parliamentary Hearing Committee's approval. 6 out of the 7 provinces, except for Koshi Province, are presenting their budget for the upcoming fiscal year today. All the provinces have made public their financial survey ahead of presenting the budget. Out of the 7 provinces, Bagmati Province is to present the largest budget. However, it is lowering the shape of its budget for the upcoming fiscal year. Bagmati Province, which has a budget of 70.93 billion rupees for the current fiscal year, is reducing the budget for the next fiscal year as the province government has failed in raising the revenue collection rate and increasing its spending capacity. The Bagmati Province government has informed that it would be including the Parliamentary Development Fund in its upcoming budget. The upcoming budget for Gandaki Province will certainly shrink as the province government has collected less revenue and has not been able to raise income resources. The Gandaki Province government is bringing the budget by prioritizing agriculture, health, education, drinking water, tourism, and irrigation. The province government has also prioritized to complete the Province Pride projects in its upcoming budget. Meanwhile, the federal government has given directive to reduce the budget ceiling of Lumini Province to 35 billion rupees. A budget of 42.63 billion rupees was allocated to the province for the current fiscal year. However, the Lumini Province government has increased the shape of the budget with an aim of managing foreign aid for urban development and developing the tourism sector. Lumini Province government spokesperson and Minister for Internal Affairs Santosh Pandey informed that the province will present a budget of 42 billion rupees. Likewise, Karnali Province is presenting its budget for the upcoming fiscal year by prioritizing education, health, agriculture production, tourism, and infrastructure development. Karnali Province, which has received a budget of 16.27 billion rupees, will reduce its budget for the next fiscal year. Meanwhile, Sudur Pashchim Province is making preparations to provide budget to lawmakers through the Constituency Infrastructure Development Program. The province government is preparing to provide 30 million rupees to each of the directly elected lawmakers through the Constituency Infrastructure Development Program. The Sudur Pashchim Province government has a budget of over 36.746 billion rupees for the current fiscal year. Legal representatives of those alleged of involvement in the fake Bhutanese refugee scam concluded presentation of their arguments at the Kathmandu District Court yesterday. The government attorneys will now furnish their counters today, after which the court will issue a verdict. Despite cases being filed against 30 individuals, only 18 have been arrested so far. The government attorneys will furnish responses today to the questions raised by the lawmakers of those alleged. As their responses are likely to conclude before the break, a verdict may be issued by this evening. Like other days, all 18 individuals arrested in the case were presented at the Kathmandu District Court yesterday. Despite preparations of Judge Prem Prasad Neopani to conclude the presentation of arguments on Wednesday, considerably long time taken by legal representatives of the defendants had extended the case. A verdict in the fake Bhutanese refugee scam case, which has been ongoing for the past 2.5 months, is much awaited by several quarters, as it remains to be seen how many of those alleged are sent behind bars by the court. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question: what should be done to curb the increasing illegal digital transactions? Your options are A. Introduce strong laws, B. Increase digital awareness, and C. Cybersecurity. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces regarding access to health services for children at hospitals in their areas. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
कुनै कुनै ठाउँमा त राम्रो छ, धेरै राम्रो पनि छ हैन, कुनै कुनै ठाउँमा चाहिँ नराम्रो पनि छ, अवस्थित छ।
बालबालिकाको उपचार हस्पिटलहरुमा राम्रै भएका छन्।
उपचार त अब कुनै मान्छेको त पैसा हुँदैन, कसरी उपचार गर्ने? पैसा भएकाले त राम्रो अस्पतालमा उपचार गरिराखेका छन्।
जुन किसिमले उपचार हुनुपर्ने शिक्षा स्वास्थ्य त निशुल्क प्राथमिक उपचार जुन हो त्यो अनुसार पनि हुँदैन।
त्यो बालबालिका सम्बन्धी उपचारको लागि खासै त्यस्तो चाहिँ उपयुक्त त्यस्तो केही पनि छैन।
बालबालिकाको उपचारको लागि बढी मात्रामा भारततिर जाने गरेका छन्।
हाम्रो एरियामा चाहिँ अस्पताल छैन। अस्पतालमा आउनको लागि चाहिँ अब सानोतिनो चोटपटक अब सानोतिनो बिमार छ भने मेडिकलमा ल्याइन्छ।
It's time now for the international updates. Survivors from a fishing boat that sank off southern Greece in one of Europe's worst migrant disasters say up to 100 children may have been on board. At least 78 people have already been confirmed dead in the disaster, but many more could still be missing at sea, with reports suggesting that up to 750 people were aboard the vessel. 9 people, including several Egyptians, have been arrested on suspicion of human trafficking. The Coast Guard has been criticized for not intervening earlier, but authorities say their offers of aid were refused. Rescuers are still searching the area where the boat capsized almost 50 nautical miles off the southwest coast, as hopes of finding more survivors dwindle. The boat had departed empty from Egypt and stopped at the Libyan port of Tobruk, where it picked up migrants destined for Italy. Images showed the decks packed with people, but accounts of a large number of women and children in the hold of the ship have come from medics who treated the mostly male survivors. A senior doctor at Kalamata General Hospital said as many as 100 children were on the vessel. Dr. Makaris said he believed as many as 600 people could have died in the disaster. At least 2 people died and 22 were injured, while electric poles and trees were uprooted as the very severe cyclonic storm Joy made landfall in Gujarat, India yesterday. The cyclone is likely to weaken into a depression this evening over Rajasthan. The India Meteorological Department said the intensity of cyclone Joy has reduced from very severe category to severe after the landfall. Director of the department, Mrityunjay Mohapatra, said the cyclone has moved from sea to land and is centered towards Saurashtra's Kutch, which with its intensity reducing. According to Gujarat state officials, heavy rain coupled with gusty winds by the storm brought down over 524 trees and electric poles at various places in the state, snapping the supply of power to around 940 villages. A cattle rearer and his son died while trying to save their goats stuck in Bhavnagar district. After churning across the Arabian Sea for more than 10 days, Cyclone Joy made landfall near Jakhau port in Gujarat yesterday evening with wind speeds ranging between 125 and 140 kilometers per hour, but started losing force several hours later at 2:30 a.m. local time this morning was packing 100 kilometers per hour winds with gusts up to 110 kilometers per hour. Extremely heavy rainfall is likely in Rajasthan today and tomorrow as the cyclone moves towards northwest. Warnings about extensive damage to temporary housing structures and falling of trees and branches due to high-speed winds, high tides and heavy rainfall have already been issued by the India Meteorological Department. The Gujarat government said 94,000 people had relocated from coastal and low-lying areas to shelter. The cyclone has also affected the trains' services. Around 99 trains running through, originating or terminating in commercial operations at Gujarat's Jamnagar airport have been suspended till today. And that's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.